Hello, welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Joby.
And we know it's been a little while. We got a lot to catch up on, so we're gonna try to do that today. You follow the Instagram. We have been watching some vintage movies, so we got some exciting stuff coming to the channel. Our thoughts on that, including 2001: A Space Odyssey, which, if you are following Instagram, I didn't make it all the way through.
He's lying. It's his favorite movie.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, today what we're gonna start with. You know what we're talking about, Jovi?
We're gonna talk about a movie that probably didn't need to be made.
Mortal Kombat 2021. Anyway, you know what? I have a lot on my mind about this movie, Jovi. Yeah. So I'm gonna start with you. I know normally we do plot, pacing, effects, and all that stuff. Right. Why don't you just go ahead, put all that into what you liked and what you didn't like. So let's start with what you liked about the movie.
What I liked about the movie, I liked how it started.
I think that's common among everyone who watched it.
I was very excited. I was like, oh, awesome. We're going to get like a real karate movie or kung fu movie or a martial arts movie that's based in a certain time.
And that's why they released that first scene on the internet. They got us excited. I was like, oh, snap. This is the action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like real martial arts. I love martial arts movies. I thought we were going to get one. I don't think that's what we got. But no, what I like. The costume design wasn't horrible.
Okay.
Costume design wasn't horrible. When Jax finally got his arms, wasn't horrible.
I had the little
arms.
He had the little arms at first.
Yeah. Jeez, it's really hard to tell you what I liked about it. That's pretty much it.
All right, why don't you tell us what spoiler alert. I should have said that. There are going to be spoilers here. Yeah. But why don't you tell us what you didn't like about the movie?
I didn't like the acting. I didn't like the CG. I didn't like the pacing. It didn't make sense.
What didn't make sense?
It just didn't make sense. Like how fast they trained.
Mm-hmm.
How Raiden's been in this remote location for eons, and all of a sudden, this is the big one. This is when we're gonna take over. We're gonna find a way to get in. How did y'all get in, and y'all haven't been able to get in for lifetimes?
I agree.
That made no sense. It's like, oh, you guys are super bad now.
So I agree with you. I think this movie, and I'm gonna get into this on when I talk about it, but to your point of what you're saying with the pacing, this movie it feels like it wasn't complete.
No.
Or it feels like we jumped in the middle of something. Like, this movie assumes either you watched the first movies or that you've played the games. Yeah, because they actually don't even explain what Mortal Kombat is, to be honest with you.
No.
They don't explain the purpose of the tournament, how it came to be, like Shao Kahn, I don't think he was mentioned at all. And the tournament itself doesn't actually happen in this movie.
No, they're just fighting. They're literally just fighting.
I think they introduce characters without actually saying the characters' names. There's no development of any of them. So yeah, I think like if you came into this, like there's a blurb at the beginning I don't even think it says, hey, we're on the 10th tournament. Yeah. And we're on the brink of losing. I think it just says something. I forget exactly what the blurb says.
But you can put it up. But I remember reading, like looking at it.
Because as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I know what this means. Yeah. But if I had never watched this movie, it's kind of strange for a reboot to start and I'll explain the rules of the world you're in. So, yeah. But please continue.
The fighting was good. I didn't say anything about that. I take that back. Like me saying there's nothing else good about it. The fighting was cool, but again, I wasn't connected. I wasn't connected to the characters to even care, and it was kind of like, I wish whoever did Daredevil was there to do the fighting scenes.
You didn't say you didn't like the choreography.
Yeah, it was just like cool. I love kung fu movies, and it's just like y'all could have did so much with this. It's a whole series about fighting.
So I agree. I think that I kind of disagree with that. I think After the first scene where the expectation was set so high, it just went downhill. Like the choreography.
There's a lot of flipping and a lot of flipping people on their backs.
Yeah, and I just
it was like a whole bunch of counter fighting. That's what it felt like. Counter fighting and kicking through things.
Yeah, man. I agree. I think
that was the cheapest way to do it, though.
Yeah.
Because you can, if you're fake fighting somebody, it's easier for you to be able to do that, block everything, and do counterattacks than actually show like you're fighting somebody, and them actually throwing real blows and stuff like that. So I don't know what the budget was. We need to look that up.
We do, because like to your point, like you said something earlier about CGI, and I was trying to think, what CGI did he hate? Reptile in that movie, I didn't like the way they did him. Mm-mm. I didn't like it at all. They should just keep him. So Reptile was an actual reptile. He was an animal, and the CG was not the best. It wasn't terrible, but it was not the best. It's somewhere between Doomsday and Batman versus Superman and Steppenwolf in Justice League.
Yeah.
The Joss Whedon Justice League. It's somewhere in that realm of terribleness. So not the absolute worst, but it's not good.
I think that make my point come across is I just think they didn't have enough money. They didn't finish the movie, or they recorded a whole bunch of stuff and was like you said, I feel like we were walking into something.
This is the problem I had with. I mean, honestly, speaking of Batman vs Superman, this is the problem I have with Zack Snyder's universe. It's like you're not doing enough developing the characters. Because there are I think there are 4 more movies already in development. And it's like, okay, you rush through this because it feels like you're trying to get us to a point that you think is really cool, kind of like Snyder rushed through everything to get us to his Justice League. Mm-hmm. But like, if you don't make me care in the beginning, why would I care in the end? But I'm gonna stop talking now until my part. But please continue.
I agree. No, and I've interrupted you. I agree. I don't know. Like I said from the beginning, what are we reviewing? A movie that I think didn't need to be made if they were going to do it like this. And I'll add that little. If they were going to do it like this, then you shouldn't have done it. If you already greenlit for 6 movies,
that's crazy.
You should have made this first one like
fantastic.
all character building. And then we could have legit got 10 minutes of actual tournament and then been hype for the next one.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So
I agree.
We don't make the big bucks though.
What did you So you've played the Mortal Kombat games, correct? Mm-hmm.
Not anything super recent, but over the years, yes. Like I haven't played anything for this generation console.
Gotcha.
Or unless I was playing over somebody's house last gen. Yeah, not much of it. Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious what you thought of like this adaptation of it.
Yeah.
Did you see the very first Mortal Kombat from 1995?
Oh yeah.
Which one do you think was?
That was my jam. But also, we were also kids.
Right.
So we thought that was the coolest thing because I remember actually playing Mortal Kombat, and then when a movie came out, even my mom was talking about that she enjoyed. Like she's like, "Have you seen the first one?" Like that joint. I'll take that over this any day.
I agree.
And that joint was cheesy.
Yeah, I agree. But let's get back to that in a second. Yeah. Let me go through what I liked about this movie.
Oh yeah.
I agree. The first 7 or 8 minutes, it was Scorpion versus Sub-Zero in like the 1600s. Their clans have been fighting for a long time. The movie doesn't tell you that. I'm telling you that. Their clans have been fighting for a long time, and they're bitter rivals. Sub-Zero comes to his place, kills his family, and then Scorpion, he fights with his kunai chain. It's really awesome, super bloody and everything.
Yeah.
Love it. And then Sub-Zero he stabs him and walks away, as bad guy movies do, and then Scorpion goes to the Netherrealm. Again, you don't know this, I'm telling you. He disappears in a blaze of fire and goes to what's known as the Netherrealm, which is like hell. But Scorpion has a child who was in hiding, and that child continues Scorpion's bloodline down to modern day. And that's basically the point of the movie.
Yep.
That Scorpion's bloodline is gathering all the fighters so that they can compete in the tournament. Shang Tsung, who is think of him like the second in command of the realm known as Outworld, he has won 9 of the last 10 Mortal Kombat with Earth, and if he wins the 10th one, he is then allowed to take over, to invade the Earth. Those are the rules that the gods of the universe set up. Again, I'm only going into this because the movie doesn't tell you this crap. So anyway, Shang Tsung is like, yeah, I don't want to risk it, so I'm going to break the rules and just kill all the people who can fight in the 10th tournament before the tournament happens. If you played the games, that right there should raise a red flag because it's not allowed. Like literally, that's why there's Mortal Kombat, because you're not allowed to go do this. Mm-hmm. But what I enjoyed seeing Sub-Zero, like in the real world, or seeing these fighters in the real world and not just isolated on some island or something fighting.
That's pretty cool.
That was really cool. There was one time when Sub-Zero first comes, he's trying to kill one of the champions, and it's like it's kind of like a horror movie. It's like ice shows up everywhere, and you're like, oh crap, he's coming, right? Yeah. So then he shows up, and then it starts snowing. I remember there was this one ice block that hit this dude right in the face. I was laughing so hard at that. So I thought he was really good. Sub-Zero is probably one of my favorite characters in this movie, even though his development wasn't that great.
Yeah, then he started being like super. It seemed like he was like a lot weaker in the end of everything.
Something else I liked about this movie. Jax and Sonya were okay, but I liked the uncredited star of this movie. Kano's back because it carried everything that happened in this movie.
Yes.
Kano
was
the heart and soul of this movie. And Kano's not even a character you should care about. He's like one of the lower characters in the games. Yeah. But without him, this movie would be not interesting at all. He was funny. He was charismatic. Yeah. He was literally the character that you related to most in the movie. And he's like, it's just like the actor who played him, like he needs to be top billing. He was so much more interesting than the actual main character named Cole. Yeah. I enjoyed watching him every time he killed. He's like Kano wins or whatever. Yeah. I enjoyed his banter, his foul mouth. When he finally got his laser eye, I thought that was really cool. And it is at this point that my praise for this movie ends.
I didn't mention that, but it literally, anybody that doesn't play video games, doesn't like these kind of movies, everyone's been like, hey, did you watch that movie? I know you like this stuff. Kano was hilarious. And I'm just like, until I saw it, and I was like, it can't be that good. And I was like, oh shit, like he made the movie. Yeah. So I completely agree.
That's the only watchable because of him. So I have so many complaints, but I'm gonna try to keep it narrow. First off, like I said, the story, it makes no sense to me. Like seriously, and I'm thinking of it as someone who played the games, and even the first movie did this. If you know the story, you're supposed to, like, Shang Tsung, the guy who's in charge of Outworld under Shao Kahn, he's won 9 tournaments. He needs to win a 10th. Mm-hmm. Okay? So what he does is he tries to like manipulate events, but you can't literally go into the world and start murdering people. Like, bruh, that just breaks all the rules. So it's like, why even have a tournament at all? I really hated that. Sub-Zero, there was no depth given to his character. I understand he hated Scorpion in the beginning. Why is he working for Outworld as an assassin, killing all these people? We were never told. It goes with a lot of Outworld, like everything that has to do with Outworld itself, I really didn't like, because they didn't get any character development at all. Honestly, this movie should have just been a Scorpion and Sub-Zero movie. And then the next one, they can focus on everything else. Like, they could have kept this entire movie in the 1600s, in my opinion, and had it be between Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting, and then the next movie goes into, something else. Like,
that's what you call development.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, if you have this plan out there. Like he said, it was a rush. Like, Sonya and Jax automatically just have all this information about the tournament and for their huge exposition dump. This whole thing about you're only allowed to fight in Mortal Kombat if you have like a certain tattoo on yourself. Either you're born with it or you kill someone who has it. So what happens if Jax goes to like, he was a soldier. If he's like in Iraq or something and he gets taken out by an IED, who gets his tattoo?
The person that put it.
The person that planted an IED.
Yeah.
What if it was just some tech who's never fought before? You know what I'm saying?
So
like
you got this little scrawny kid sitting there like, I'm ready for the tournament. Talk about getting the tattoo. When Sonya got it, like within the first 10 minutes of the movie when we met Kano, I was like, oh, she's gonna kill him. It was like you already knew.
What? But about that,
it just made that was like I was like, you guys kind of like gave it away.
Yeah, that Kano and if you don't know, you know that, Joe. Yeah. But if you didn't play the game or watch the first movie, I don't think you know how much they hate each other. Sonya and Kano do not like.
So I guess my perception was like I'm just like, oh well, that's how she gets hers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, you're not gonna be part of the series without the little tattoo.
Right. So. To that point, when you have this tattoo, you're the only one who's allowed to fight. So they all go to Raiden's temple to train how to fight.
In 3 days.
Yeah, in 3 days. And if you have this tattoo, apparently you have some sort of superpower. They call it an Arcana. That's how Kano gets his laser eye. He unlocks it super quick. Jax gets his robot arms through his Arcana. I don't know how that works, but okay, we'll go with that.
So what would it have been if he didn't lose his arms?
Yeah, exactly. But well, okay. Liu Kang can summon a dragon, and Kung Lao has his hat. That's really sharp. And then what's his name? The main character Cole, which I'm about to get into him in a little bit. The main character Cole gets like a suit of armor. This dude Cole, why is he the main character? I mean, I can appreciate having Scorpion as the main character, but this is a dude, you meet him as an out of his luck MMA fighter who hasn't won a fight in like however long, and he's supposed to be the dude we're cheering for. Like, okay, fine. There are 100 characters in Mortal Kombat, over 100 characters in Mortal Kombat you could have chosen, but you make this original guy. All right, cool. But then you don't give him any kind of personality. No, his family was boring. When they were in danger of dying, I truly didn't care. Liu Kang and Kung Lao were pushed to the back. That's probably what pissed me off the most. Liu Kang is the star of this movie. You don't want to be the star? Fine. Don't make him and Kung Lao just characters you absolutely forget about.
Yeah, they were very passive.
Their introductions were not. I don't even remember how Kung Lao was introduced. I think he was just standing there when they came in. I remember they met Liu Kang in the desert.
He came out. He's like, "Yeah, that's my cousin."
Oh yeah.
And that was it. It was like,
yeah. They met Liu Kang. Liu Kang takes him to Raiden's temple. He goes, "That's my cousin." Raiden himself, I really hated Raiden. I didn't like him.
He didn't do a good job.
They did not do a good job with him. The actor was not good. He was very stoic. Raiden is not like that. I mean, he doesn't interfere, but he has a personality. I don't remember 2 words this Raiden said. They treated Sonya like crap. Oh, you don't have a tattoo, you can't fight. Oh, but you can stay. And like Jovi said, Cole and Kano and Jax were training for 3 days, and they got their powers. Sonya kills Kano. Her powers come literally right there. Immediately, she gets her powers. And you're just like, wait a minute. She didn't do any training at all. How did she get this? So, like, plot things like that are just annoying. Really
more of these movies.
It was a really bad story. I can't say the acting was bad. What the characters were given to work with was the writing was bad. Let's say, like, I could literally go scene for scene in this movie and tell you, nope, that's wrong. Nope, that's wrong. This doesn't make sense. But I think it's better if you just know. I hated this movie.
That sounds like Patreon content. Right. Once we get a Patreon, that's the kind of content.
Yeah, we'll go scene for scene and tell you why this movie stunk. What you giving this movie out of 5?
I'm going to give it a 2 because I actually sat down and watched it.
I'm giving it a 2 mainly because of Kano in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything. Oh, and Sub-Zero. Yeah. Sub-Zero's part. Everything on this movie.
Anytime Sub-Zero fought, I was like, yeah, this is lit.
I like Sub-Zero. Oh, Scorpion came back in the end. I thought his fight with Scorpion in the end was really good.
Like you said, we could have got a whole movie of that.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You know what else was really stupid though? They fought all these iconic characters. They brought out Goro. They brought out Melina.
Yes.
and then they killed him in this movie.
Yeah.
Kung Lao, like, I mean, he murders, I forget who he murdered. It was the person with the wings. I forget her name. But anyway, he murders her. He gets his soul sucked out of his body by Shang Tsung, and now Kung Lao is dead. And it's just like, bruh, like, I really wanted this movie to be good because I wanted, you know, it looked like it was going to be a top Asian billing movie, you know, with the Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Cole himself, Liu Kang, Kung Lao. I was like, you know what? Finally, Minority get a good movie. Yeah. But now I'm waiting for Shang-Chi. Yeah. In the 10 rings? Yeah. I'm just waiting for that. This movie was a hit and a miss.
We already know that was going to be great.
Actually, it wasn't even a hit. It was a swing and a miss. That's what it is.
Swing and a miss and an uppercut.
Yeah,
to the face.
Yeah, you swung, you missed, you hit yourself in the face with the bat. This movie stunk. Like Joey said, probably shouldn't have been made. I'm very glad it had an HBO Max. If I had paid to see this movie, this review would have been a lot harsher.
And I wanted to go to the movies and watch it.
Yeah, man. I bet you're glad you didn't do that.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Anyway, thanks for sitting through this rant with us. Have you seen Mortal Kombat? What did you think? Did you hate it as much as we did because the story just wasn't there? Let us know in the comments. And as always, until next time, we out.
Deuces.